All right, in this module we're going to cover making updates to individual content pages. It will be helpful if you have created a parent page and you have individual pieces of content feeding into that and you don't like the preview that you're seeing. So for an example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to the category page, the category page template, just to show you how specific pieces of content feed into that page and how they can be updated to change their display. So here, as an example, we're going to move down to the featured content. You're going to see content page 0. If we go to the content editor, just as an example, these are all dummy pieces of content. Once the site is live, you're going to go to the home directory, and then there will be a lowercase content folder. If you select that folder, then you can search from there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move down instead to the test area where we normally, or where we are until development is complete. And I'm going to search this folder just to show you what that would be like. But again, once the site is live, you go to home, lowercase content to search for that content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for the title of this content. I'm going to do that starting by creating a filter, title, and then colon. That'll create a custom filter, and I'm going to put in the title of this content and hit enter. You don't have to get it exactly right, just look for those unique use cases, and it should list down here below. One thing to keep in mind is that the specific piece of content, and it's actually in the demo, so I need to back out and go instead. You search for the title and it would normally appear here, but I've selected the wrong directory for test. So I'm going to do that again. Go to demo, search, title, content, 0, hit enter, and it should be this top result. Content page with sidebar 0, content page 0. Here it is. We're going to select that piece of content and go into it. Here, it's kind of, if we go back to the category page that it was feeding onto, all we have to go on is content page 0, which is a terrible title, and there's no preview text, and this thumbnail is poorly selected. So I'm going to start by changing the title, a better title. Okay. The summary is, if we go back to the category page, this is the summary on each article. We're going to update the summary to say something useful. Okay. The body text, well, if you would like to know more about editing the body copy or any of the other elements that don't have to do with the preview display of a piece of content, then you're going to want to look back on the content creation module. But for now, we're just dealing with how content previews on parent pages. So we've added a summary. We've updated the title. The last thing that we were going to want to update is the preview image. So if we scroll down, if you've already created content, then you're accustomed to the idea that an article image is the large image at the top of a piece of content, whereas the preview image is the image that you select if you don't want this article image to appear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this preview image. Go back into, I'm going to back out, and you're going to want to browse, and then use these various filters over here to select images. I'm going to select this image because it's very well sized to be a preview image. It's got that 1 by 1.5 aspect ratio. Just know that if there is a preview image, you replace it. If there is not, then to change that preview image, you can either add one, or you can simply update the article image, which is different. By default, the article image will be the preview image, but if you would like those two to be different, then you can also select a preview image, and that will display specifically on specifically as the thumbnail for the piece of content. So once we've made the changes to those images, I'm going to save this. and publish the item. Something to keep in mind when you're making minor changes to content is you do not want to. You're not going to have to worry about publishing sub-items unless you've changed an item beneath it. Content typically doesn't have sub-items, so we're going to stay on Smart Publish, publish related items. Related items have to do with images, aliased pages, and so on, and the language that we altered, English. If you alter more than one language, you're going to want to select that language as well, but we only updated English, so I'm going to hit Publish, OK, and then we're going to run through the publishing queue. Okay, and close. So that item should be published now. We're going to go back to this category page preview and reload the page. And remember that content 0 is right here under featured content. And what we've been able to do is add the title and update the preview image. And actually, I was mistaken. There's no summary text on this featured content. It's just the title. This is just a really long title. So that's how you make updates. That's how you make updates to the preview of a specific piece of content. One thing to keep in mind, some of these article feeds or tag grids, promo cards are going to use the summary text. So it is good to make sure that you have that summary text updated. And again, you can do that just from the back end, right in this summary area. So thanks very much, and I'll see you later in more modules.